As spring arrives and the sun slowly warms Fairfield County, the Stamford Fire Marshals are out spreading the word about fire safety.
Let me just remind you to change that battery. Change that battery coming up this month, March 12th. As we cross that midnight hour into March 13th, we're going to move our clocks forward. And that 1 hour ahead, that's the time to remember to change your battery. Change your clock this month, change your battery. I appreciate that if you do that for me.
Assistant Fire Marshal Charles Spalding explains there are a lot of hazards around us, and it's important that we recognize them. He also reaches out to the community through schools with fire safety classes.
Yeah. Inspections, quite frankly, that's our primary priority because we like to prevent fires. And we go out and do inspections for buildings that house 3 or more families, residential. That's everything from 3 apartments in one house to the condos and high-rises that you see.
And there are a lot of ways you can be proactive with fire safety.
What I like most about what we do is education, where we get to go in and sometimes we start with the young children, teaching them about fire safety. That's everything about, you've heard of fire, stop, drop, and roll, and what to do if your clothes catch on fire. So also, they're our biggest advocate for going home and telling their parents about they've met a firefighter or they met a fire marshal. Want to reduce the power, so they have a transformer built into the power plug. And as you can see, if there's a cell phone charger for father and there's a cell phone charger for a mother, we pretty much used up all the room we have except for the additional extension cords, which many times people go out and get, so that we can plug another extension cord, which is the biggest no-no in the world today, which we call the new school, accommodates, makes provisions for today's appliances, such as cell phones for father, a cell phone for mother, and gee, we might have given a cell phone to our son or daughter. So let's take care of them too.
The marshals took us into a couple of multiple family homes to show us some of the things a landlord should keep in mind if he's to keep tenants safe.
And what are you checking?
I'm just checking to make sure that it's perfect or that it works, and that it's loud enough to give off the decibel levels in case the fire or something will break out here. It can notify the folks that are inside the unit.
No, there's nothing that's prohibiting you from having a smoke detector
Right.
in your bedroom, because with the bedroom door closed and you out here watching TV, you wouldn't know that something is happening in your bedroom before it's too late.
Checking to see the self-closing mechanism. All fire-rated doors have to have a self-closing mechanism to help it close. In case this unit catches a fire and he runs out, that door should have to close behind him, so it keeps all the fire and smoke inside the unit. All handrails have to be graspable. In other words, for somebody like my hands who are bigger hands, I'll probably be okay with something bigger. But like a woman's hands or a child hands, they need something a little small. So there's a standard, like anything from 1 1/4 to 2.5 inches, which is what this is, and that makes it more graspable for any little kid or woman hand to grab it. But as you can see, it's sturdy, it's in place. He has one on the other side going down.
And also what I'm checking, it is the heating season, the boilers are operating, and we like to check the smoke pipes, make sure that the pipes are in good working order, and also that all the connections into the masonry chimney are intact. As you can see, Mr. Nicolopoulos keeps his apartment very well, and everything seems to be in perfect order.
People sometimes forget that fire safety extends beyond home and school. What if a fire ignites when you're out to dinner? Deputy Fire Marshal Bixby reminds us that businesses also have certain laws they have to follow to keep patrons safe.
Make sure that the fire alarm is operating correctly. We inspect the hood system to make sure that the suppression system is active and that the hood system has been cleaned as it's supposed to be. So what we'll do is we'll check all the emergency light exit signs, and then we'll move into the kitchen.
In the restaurant, you'll be conscious of the 2 exits. You have the one that you came in, that's the main exit. Then in a restaurant, you have a secondary exit. So be conscious of that secondary exit, because that's the one that you may have to go out, and the least one is going to be used. So it's going to be the one that's most clear.
These lights are in the event of emergency because they're open at night. They're battery powered, and by pressing the button, I'm simulating a power failure. So they operate, so they have a lighted path to their egress out of the building. The hood's been cleaned, it's tagged current, it's not a problem. The fire suppression system has all the nozzle covers on it. In the event of a fire, this will activate and these will blow up and discharge the extinguishing agent. This here is the manual release in the event of a fire. If an employee sees the fire before it gets too long and gets up into the hood, they can come over here and activate the system by pulling this manual release. And as you see by this tag, it's tagged that it's been tested and it's current, so it's compliant with the fire code.
Though the fire marshals are busy, they say they always have time to answer your questions or concerns. You can reach them at 203-977-4651.